Hare Krishna, good morning everyone. Welcome to our morning Srimad Bhagavatam / Chaitanya Charitamrita class. My name is Nanda-Braja. Mother Anuradha isn't feeling well today. She usually gives Chaitanya Charitamrita, her wonderful singing of the verses. I know we'll all miss. So she's not feeling well, so we can all just give her a little prayer to Radha Kalashanaji that she feels better very soon. Okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Goranitai, Jaya Goranitai, Jaya Goranitai, Jaya Goranitai. Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Gaurahari, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Gaurahari. Jaya Radha Kalasanji, Radha Kalasanji, Sri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol, Haribol. Jai Om Vishnupad Parahamsa Prakacharya Sutota Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Antikoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavanam Ki Jai. Maipurdam Ki Jai. Gangamai Yamunamai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakta Devi Ki Jai. Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the symbol devotees. All glories to the symbol devotees. All glories to the symbol devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Guranga. All glories to Shri the Prabhupada. Jai Shri the Prabhupada. Okay, so we're reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhyam Leela, chapter 6, text 142. So I'm going to give a little bit of a second here to find that. Madhya. Oh, I wonder what chapter this is. Oh, 24. I was hoping to find it in this book. Okay. So we know that we're speaking Bengali here, not Sankirtan. Do you know the meter that we sing Chaitanya Charitamrita? Do we sing it in the same meter as Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda? Is that the same meter? Gosh. Okay, we'll try. Yaya Sutrir Jalapati Nirvisham Sa Sabdityeti Sa Vivashameva Vichara Yoge Sati Hanta Sasyam Praya Balya sa visham eva. Translation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, whatever Vedic mantras describe the absolute truth, impersonally only prove in the end that the absolute truth is a person. The Supreme Lord is understood in two features, impersonal and personal. If one considers the Supreme Personality of Godhead in both features, he can actually understand the absolute truth. He knows that the personal understanding is stronger because we see that everything is full of variety. No one can see anything that is not full of variety. Purport. This is a quotation from Sri Chaitanya Chandrodayana Nataka 667 by Kavi Karnapura. Okay. I want to apologize. I should say translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, we'll just keep on going here until we get to a purport with a... Yeah, here. Everything in the cosmic manifestation emanates from the absolute truth, remains in the absolute truth, and after annihilation again enters the absolute truth. Purport. In the Taittiriya Upanishad 3.1, it is said, Yatova imani bhutani jayante. The entire material cosmic manifestation is born of the Supreme Brahman. Also, the Brahma Sutra begins with the verse, Jamadi Asya Atyaha. The absolute truth is that from whom everything emanates. Brahma Samhita 1.1.2. That absolute truth is Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata savarm pravartate. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Therefore, Krishna is the original absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Again, Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita 9.4, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagarat avyakata murtanya. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. And it is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 5.3.75.37, Goluka eva nivashati al akyalamata bhutaya. Although the Lord always stays in His abode, Goloka Vrindavan, He is still all-pervading. His all-pervasive feature is understood to be impersonal because one does not find the form of the Lord in that all-pervasiveness. Actually, everything is resting on the rays of His bodily effulgence. The Brahma Samhita 5.40 also states, Yasha prabho prabhavato jagara ananda koti kotiva ashishaya vishtihadi vidibhutu vibhuti vihinahinam. Due to the rays of the Lord's bodily effulgence, millions of universes are created, just as planets are created from the sun. So at Bhakti Circle this weekend, we had a conversation about love and what was love. And it was really interesting because we go around the room and ask people, what do they think love is? What's love to them? And so there was many different answers. One was love was, it's the feeling of love. You have a feeling that you're of love, which is really kind of hard to describe, but we've all kind of felt that maybe I think that we've all felt that in our heart, that love, Then there was, love is the focusing on that person, that object of love, that person of love. So this concentration on them, thinking about them, what am I going to, just thinking about them in general. It was also brought up that love is serving the other person, is buying them those nice gifts, or taking them out to eat or something, or making them, maybe more appropriately, making them something nice to eat. Then also speaking with them in confidence, right? Revealing your heart, revealing your mind, and letting them know like how you feel, and that reciprocation of discussion and hearing from each other. And so it was interesting because all of these, you can see, take another person. There was no answer that love is nothing. Nobody said, oh, love is, this feeling of nothingness. Or love is no pain or no happiness. It's just, impersonal. You could hear from everybody that they had an understanding that love is a reciprocation between two people. So, if we can understand that if service and to love is inert in the being, then we can understand that it's only done reciprocating between two entities, so that we can understand that Krishna must not be impersonal, because if we all want to love, if we're all looking for love, if we're even looking for love in material things, then we can understand that love is something that is also innate of the soul. It's always looking for it, looking for this relationship. So we can understand that Krishna must not be impersonal, absolutely, in his absolute. Okay, how should I say it? He must not just be impersonal, right? Because we do understand there is the impersonal feature of Krishna, but we must understand that there is a personal form too. So it was really interesting considering how much people think of yoga and meditation as this impersonal, impersonal type of effulgence or understanding. However, if you speak with people about love, they'll automatically start talking about the reciprocation between two different people. Let's go to the next verse. Oh, do you have any thoughts, Prabhu? No? Okay. If any time you want, have some thought or question, something to add, raise your hand. Just jump right in. It's more fun if we conversate, I don't know, maybe sometimes it is. We got 144. The personal features of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are categorized in three cases, namely ablative, instrumental, and locative. Namely, ablative, it's A-B-L-A-T-I-V-E, ablative. I've never heard this. I'm going to actually define this, because I don't know what it means. Do you know what that word means? Ablative? I'm probably saying it wrong. I apologize. Okay. Man, these phones are amazing. I could just tap on it, and it says define, and I could just literally boom, it just pulls it up. Whoa! Using everything for Krishna service. Even our phones. It says that ablative means relating to or denoting a case of nouns and pronouns, agreement with, indicating separation, or an agent, instrument, or location. The second one means all nine. Oh, it's giving kind of all 9 patients were treated by ablative surgery. Relating to or denoting a case, indicating separation, or an agent, instrument, or location. Interesting. Let's see what the purport says. Srila Prabhupada will clear it up in the purport. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur states in his Amrita Prava Bhashya that according to the injunction of the Upanishads, the Supreme Absolute Truth is He from whom everything emanates. It is understood that the whole cosmic manifestation emanated from Brahman, the Supreme Absolute Truth. The creation subsists by the energy of the Supreme Brahman, and after annihilation merges into the Supreme Brahman. From this we can understand that the Absolute Truth can be categorized in 3 cases: ablative, instrumental, and locative. According to the 3 cases, the Absolute Truth is positively personified. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati quotes the Atriya Upanishad 111, Atmava idam ikha evagra ashin nayant kinanchana mishatsha ikshashata lokana nu srijata iti. Similarly, in the Sevatashvatara Upanishad 4.9, it is stated, Chandamasi yajana kratavo vrantani bhutam bhavayam yachad veda vadanti yashman mehi srijanti vishvamitat tashmimins jano amaya mayaya sanrudadaha. And in the Tatriyatya Upanishad 3.1, Yatova imani bhutani jayante yana jayanti yatprayanti abhyasvashanti tad vivavanashava tad brahma. This was the answer given by the father Varuna when questioned by his son Varuni Bhrigu about the absolute truth. In this mantra, the word Atya, the absolute truth from which the cosmic manifestation has emanated, is in the ablative case. That Brahman by which this universal creation is maintained is in the instrumental case, Anya, and that Brahman who which the whole cosmic manifestation merges into the locative case, Yat or Yashena, it is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.20, Idam hi vishvam bhagavam ivataro yato jagarat sadhana nirado sambhavaha. The entire universal creation is contained in the gigantic form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything emanates from Him, everything rests in His energy, and after annihilation, everything merges into the person. This is why I'm not qualified to listen to or read Chaitanya Charitamrita, to be honest with me. I'm doing my best I can, and I apologize. But some of when Srila Prabhupada's speaking about the ablative cases of the Lord, instrumental and locative, it's kind of going over my head, to be honest with you. Did you get anything from that purport of understanding? Yeah, it's a little tough, huh? Gee. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Those who can read and understand Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Whew. Okay. 145 and 146. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead wished to become many, he glanced over the material energy. Before the creation, there were no mundane eyes or mind. Therefore, the transcendental nature of the Absolute Truth's mind and eyes is confirmed. Purport. In the Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3, it is said, Tad akshatata bahu shayam prajayaya. This statement confirms the fact that when the Supreme Personality of Godhead wishes to become many, the cosmic manifestation arises simply by His glance over material energy. It may be noted that the Supreme Lord glanced over the material nature before the creation of this cosmic manifestation. Let me repeat that sentence. It may be noted that the Supreme Lord glanced over the material nature before the creation of this cosmic manifestation. Before the creation there was no material minds or material eyes. Therefore the mind by which the Supreme Personality of Godhead desired to create is transcendental, and the eyes with which He glanced over the material nature is also transcendental. This the Lord's mind and eyes and other senses are all transcendental. This reminds me of when Krishna is taking birth, and he's appearing in the womb of Devaki, and Vasudeva says, "This is actually not a very wonderful thing that you have manifested in Devaki's womb," and it's really interesting to me that he says this isn't a very wonderful thing, because it's like, wow, Krishna appearing in somebody's, appearing as somebody's baby is pretty wonderful. But then he starts explaining why. Because, well, first you impregnated yourself into the material world through as Mahavishnu, and then you through that you impregnate yourself in every universe, and then you impregnate yourself into every atom. So it's not such a wonderful thing that you've impregnated yourself into Devaki's womb. So it's reminding me of this. The purport is reminding me of this because Krishna, being the source of everything, is within everything, but also at that same time, that although he is within everything and impregnating himself within every atom, within every living entity as Paramatma, that he is also always remains the supreme person. He always remains in his original form. I believe this would be an understanding of Achinta Beta Beta Tattva, right? Although he remains one, he's everything at the same time. It remains one. Any thoughts? Bali Prabhu is just immersed in listening. Okay. I was talking yesterday, Jin, who listens very often in the car. She was speaking about how she's in the car for 3 hours in the morning each morning, and so she listens to Srimad Bhagavatam class. And so I was telling her, I think it'd be really cool if we had a call-in feature. If people could call in and ask some questions or even clarify, I was lost there in that one report. I know there's somebody out there that's like, oh, I know the answer to that. They could call in. Not sure. Maybe one day, right? We can have a phone. We can be like, caller 2. What's your question? And then we can say, what is it? Caller 10 wins a free garland right from Srila Prabhupada. Anyways, okay. Sorry if I was getting silly there. 6.147. The word Brahman indicates the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Sri Krishna. That is the verdict of all Vedic literature. One more time. The word Brahman indicates the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Sri Krishna. That is the verdict of all Vedic literature. Purport. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 15:15, where the Lord says, Vaidascha sarvam maham eva vidyaha. The ultimate object in all Vedic literature is Krishna. Everyone is searching for him. This is also confirmed elsewhere in the Bhagavad Gita 7:19. Bahunam jananamante jananavanamam pradantyate Vishudevya savramiti samatyam sudur labaha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes, and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. When one has actually become wise through the study of Vedic literature, he surrenders unto Vasudeva, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. This is also confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2-7-8. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhagavati Yoga Prajoyataha Prayojataha Janyati Yashu Varagayam Jananam Chadya Ahutakam Dharmasva Anushtata Pumsyam Vishvashashena Katushuyaya Nopadaya Dayali Ratim Srameva He Kevalam Shramageva He Kevalam. Understanding Vasudeva is real knowledge. By engaging in the devotional service of Vasudeva Krishna, one acquires perfect knowledge and Vedic understanding. This one becomes detached from the material world. This is the perfection of human life. Although one may perfectly follow religious rituals and ceremonies, he is simply wasting his time. Shrama eva kevalam. If he does not attain this perfection. Before the creation of the cosmic manifestation, the Supreme Person of Godhead possessed his totally transcendental mind and eyes. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. A person may think that there is no direct statement about Krishna in the Upanishads, but the fact is that the Vedic mantras cannot be understood by people with mundane senses. As stated in the Padma Puran, Atya Shri Krishna, Namadi na Bhavade Grahayam Indriyahai. A person with mundane senses cannot fully understand the name, qualities, form, and pastimes of Sri Krishna. The Puranas are therefore meant to explain the supplementary Vedic knowledge. The great sages present the Puranas in order to make the Vedic mantras understandable for common men. Stri, Sudra, Diviji, Bandhananam. Considering that women, Sudras, and Divija, Bandhus, unworthy sons of the twice-born, cannot understand the Vedic hymns directly, Sri Vyasadeva compiled the Mahabharata. Actually, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Vedeshu, Duralambham, untraceable in the Vedas. Wow. But when the Vedas are properly understood, or when Vedic knowledge is received from devotees, one can understand that all Vedic knowledge leads to Sri Krishna. The Brahma Samhita, or the Brahma Sutra 113 confirms this fact also. Shastra Yonanitvat. Commenting upon this Brahma Samhita aphorism, Sri Madhvacharya says, the Rig Veda, Ajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atravara Veda, Mahabharata, Panchatratra, and the original Valmiki Ramayana are all Vedic literatures. Any literature following the conclusive statements of these Vedic literatures is also considered Vedic literature. The literature which does not conform to Vedic literature is simply misleading. Therefore, when reading Vedic literature, we must take the path traversed by great acharyas. Mahajanyo yana gata sa pantaha. Unless one follows the path traversed by great acharyas, he cannot understand the real purports of the Vedas. So if we can't understand the Vedic literatures with our mundane senses, then how do we understand Vedic literatures? So we must get it from somebody who doesn't have imperfect senses. Right? We must get it from somebody who has perfect senses, that understands perfectly what is to be known of the Vedas. And so Srila Prabhupada is hitting on in this last paragraph that is why we need to learn from the great acharyas. The great acharyas, being completely surrendered to Krishna, can understand the Vedic literature as it is. That's why Srila Prabhupada has written Bhagavad Gita as it is. It isn't as this person thinks it is, or that person thinks about it. That person thinks it is, unless it's the acharya. Then it's as it is, as Krishna's meaning is giving us the Bhagavad Gita. This is why he's giving us the Bhagavad Gita. Why is Krishna speaking the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and how it's to be understood by the devotee? Srila Prabhupada says in his introduction, I believe it is, that there was, or maybe it's the preface, I apologize, is that there's so many. He was asked, to give a recommendation on what Bhagavad Gita to read, and he said, I couldn't give a recommendation of what Bhagavad Gita to read, because there's so many people writing the Bhagavad Gita trying to give their interpretation of the Bhagavad Gita. You hear this often from people trying to take the words of a very learned person, and then taking those words and then twisting them up so they can confirm what they're saying, or what their thoughts are. And so Krishna, being the ultimate person, so many people take from the Bhagavad Gita and try to interpret it in their way. Oh, see, I am right, because listen, here's the Bhagavad Gita. But interesting enough, that Vedic knowledge can actually be used in so many different ways to make so many different arguments. It's not a very surprising thing that people can do this, because you can read through the Vedas in so many different ways, and you can find something to interpret, to give your own conclusion. And this is why hearing from Srila Prabhupada is so important, because he's giving us the translation as it is, and then he's also giving the purport as it is. He's giving us a way to give us perspective of how to read the Vedic literatures. And this is so important because the further and further we go into our Krishna consciousness movement, and people get more understanding of the Vedic literatures, the more and more arguments about this way or that way can be had. You know, this Vedic literature is saying this, and this person says the Vedic literature is saying this. But Srila Prabhupada said that everything is in his books. So, by studying Srila Prabhupada's books and reading them and understanding from the devotees who are understanding from Srila Prabhupada properly, then we can also understand that, you know, where are these arguments between Vedic literatures. Okay, let's go back to Srila Prabhupada's books. We can understand it. Srila Prabhupada in these purports of the Chaitanya Charitamrita is quoting from so many different Vedic literatures. I mean, it's like it's unimaginable. I mean, just in these 3 or 4 purports that we've read, he's probably quoted out of 6 or 7 different, well, even more than that if you count Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. He's probably quoted out of 8 different Vedic literatures. That's amazing. Srila Prabhupada, you know, here, let's see here. He quotes from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, right there, the last purport. Okay. The Brahma Sutra. Let's go to the previous one. He's quoting from the Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. I didn't even know there was a Chandogya Upanishad. You know what I mean? And Srila Prabhupada's, you know, through his purports are just bam, bam, bam. It's amazing. It really is. You know, I would say it's unreal, unbelievable, but Srila Prabhupada does it over and over and over again, so we know it's real. Okay, let's read one more, or maybe 2 more. There's no purport here. 6.148. The comprehensible meaning of the Vedas is not easily understood by common men. Therefore, the meaning is supplemented by the words of the Puranas. Six 149. How greatly fortunate are Nanda-Maharaj, the cowherd men, and all the inhabitants of Brajabhumi. There is no limit to their fortune, because the absolute truth, the source of transcendental bliss, the eternal supreme Brahman, has become their friend. Purport. This quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.32 is spoken by Lord Brahma. The cowherd boys are wrestling with Krishna, the supreme absolute person, and he lets them win. That's a friend, right? A friend sometimes know that, you know, that our bigger, sometimes even a bigger brother, right? Your bigger brother can beat you every time in wrestling, but every once in a while he lets you win, because, you know, he likes it when his little brother is excited that they won. Or even the father sometimes, right, wrestles with the kid, or playing card games or something, playing board games, and you know, the parents will let the child win because it's more enjoyable to them than winning. So similarly, Krishna is letting is letting the cowherd boys win when they wrestle, because it's even more pleasurable than him winning. It's amazing to think that Krishna, the source of everything, is losing in wrestling to the cowherd boys. What a friend. Six 150. Actually, yes, let's go a little bit farther. We still have like 13 more minutes. 6 150. The Vedic Apanipada mantra rejects material hands and legs, yet it states that the Lord goes very fast and accepts everything offered to him. This is also in the Sri Upanishads, right? That Krishna runs, but he doesn't run. He has yeah. 6 151. All these mantras confirmed that the absolute truth is personal, but the Mayavadis, throwing away the direct meaning, interpret the absolute truth as impersonal. Purport: as mentioned above, the Svetasvartara Upanishad 3:19 states, here's another one that we haven't even heard yet, another Upanishad. Apanipado javanao grahatiya pashati atchakusha sa surnoti arkanaha sa veti vidam na cha tashati vetya tamahur agram purusham mahanandatam. This Vedic mantra clearly states Purusham Mahanatam. The word Purusha means person. In the Bhagavad Gita 10:12, Arjuna confirms that this person is Krishna when he addresses Krishna as Purusham Savavatam. You are the original person. Thus, the Purusham Mahanatam mentioned in the verse from the Sveta Savartara Upanishad is Sri Krishna. His hands and legs are not by name, but are completely transcendental. However, when he comes, fools take him to be an ordinary person. Avajanti mam muda manusham tamam asritam. One who has no Vedic knowledge, who has not studied the Vedas from the bona fide spiritual master, does not know Krishna. Therefore he is muda. Such fools take Krishna to be an ordinary person. Param bhavam ajanantyataha. They do not actually know what Krishna is. Manushanam sahareshu kashid yatiti siddhyahi. It is not possible to understand Krishna simply by studying the Vedas perfectly. One must have the mercy of the devotee, yat padam. Unless one is favored by the devotee, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arjuna also confirms this in the Bhagavad Gita 10:14. My Lord, it is very difficult to understand your personality. The less intelligent class of men, cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead without being favored by his devotee. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 4:34 contains another injunction. Tad vidhi prunanyadpante purpraneshana sevaya Uda keshanti te jananam jananinyas tattva darshanaha. One has to approach the bona fide spiritual master and surrender to him. Only then can one understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a person. So again, drilled in here that we do have imperfect senses, we make mistakes, we are illusioned. The four defects. We are illusioned, we have a tendency to cheat, and illusioned, cheat, we make mistakes, and what's the other one that I'm forgetting? The four defects of the human. Just a second here. Of the conditioned soul. Mistakes. Propensity to cheat. Imperfect senses. They're illusioned. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the four. But anyways, as imperfect conditioned souls with these four imperfections, we cannot read something on our own and come up to the conclusion of the proper conclusion. We'll make mistakes, we'll be illusioned, it'll be too difficult. So we must must take shelter of the spiritual master who understands the Vedic injunctions perfectly. Srila Prabhupada, as our Jagat Guru, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, who is always our Shiksha Guru and Jagat Guru, is giving us in his purports and through his books the proper understanding of how to understand Krishna and how to understand these Vedic literatures. We really can't say it enough that Srila Prabhupada is giving us the proper vision, he's giving us the proper understanding, he's giving us the way which to traverse this material universe, this material creation, and how to go back home, back to Godhead. And so we cannot, by some means, read other Vedic, read the Vedas and understand them ourselves. It's actually very offensive to try to do this, to try to understand something that, I found something that, something new. I found this conjunction that says this, and so it's something new. This is nonsense. We can, okay, maybe I'm a little strong there. Finding something new that's beyond what Srila Prabhupada is giving us in his purports. If we're trying to be more than our founder Acharya, then our perspective is not so good. I mentioned this in another class. There was a devotee who found in the Vedic literature that in the Vedic literature it says we shouldn't listen to music sung by women. So Srila Prabhupada has given us the instruction to listen to Govindam Adi Pujam each morning, written by or sung by Mother Yamuna. And so this brahmachari said, Srila Prabhupada, it says right here that we shouldn't listen to women. So therefore, as a brahmachari, I don't think that I should be listening to this in the morning. Srila Prabhupada, in his way, said, this is nonsense. As a matter of fact, if Srila Prabhupada says, well, there's not just Mother Yamuna singing there. There's a bunch of different people singing in there. So if you're affected by this, then just focus on the men that are singing in the song. What's your difficulty? So this is a example of what I'm trying to get the point I'm trying to make is that this person thought that they were could find something in Vedic literature to support their understanding and their personal their convictions, instead of hearing from Srila Prabhupada and understanding what he's giving us and appreciating that that's coming from coming from somebody who is perfect, and therefore I surrender to this, that Srila Prabhupada is giving us this, so I surrender to it, and then by that surrender, then Srila Prabhupada can give us the vision of how to see things, how to understand the Vedic literature. So eventually that person fell down from Krishna consciousness. And so this is a warning to us all, right? Is don't try to go through the Vedic literature, trying to find our own purports, trying to find our own understanding. Really, we go through Srila Prabhupada's books to understand how he's giving it to us. And there are, and I want to be clear here. I'm not saying that there aren't those people that can read outside of the books that Srila Prabhupada translated and understand it through Srila Prabhupada's books. But that's the point, is they're understanding Srila Prabhupada's books, and they're supporting with those other Vedic literatures, they're supporting what Srila Prabhupada's saying in their purport. That's a totally different thing, right? It's a different one thing to read the other Vedic literatures in understanding and strengthening our relationship with Srila Prabhupada and what he's saying, instead of reading other Vedic literatures to try to find something more. Oh, if I read this, then I can understand more I can understand more about Krishna, or I can get, I can support my own ideas, or I was thinking this, and So I go therefore outside of Srila Prabhupada's books to try to find the answer. Instead of, I'm reading this to understand Srila Prabhupada more clearly. I had a thought about that and it just passed. Anyways. See if it comes back. Give me 1 second. It's not coming back. So we're at 8:20 seconds. Any questions, comments, concerns, corrections? Any thoughts, Prabhu? Thank you. You're very kind. Okay. We'll end there. We're at 153. So next week when we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhyam Leela 6:153. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Pramanande Hari Hari Bol.